My first distinguishable memories of playing video games comes from circa 1989 when my parents purchased the family Nintendo console. Truly a core memory of my youth that led to endless hours of shooting ducks, consuming mushrooms to grow big and strong, and running in place on the power pad. Instantly, I was enamored by the fantastical worlds I could control in the palm of my hands. Games like Dragon Warrior changed my perspective of what games could be. Games expanded my vocabulary well above my grade level. Granted, the others caught up eventually, but it was fun to be on top while it lasted. Eventually, I graduated to the Super Nintendo, which led me to the golden age of RPGs. Sure, you had your long-running franchises like your Final Fantasies, but you could also get one-offs and oddities like the Seventh Saga and the Lufia games. More greatness followed with the dawn of the PlayStation consoles, where original IPs were introduced seemingly daily and there was never a shortage of fresh ideas and exceptional execution. Well, not every game was a winner, but risks were taken, and I can respect that. Games like Tomba, 40 Winks, Mort the Chicken, Medieval, Jumping Flash, Croc, Pandemonium, wild shit that you just don't see outside of the indie space these days, which is why I've gravitated to almost exclusively playing indie games over the past decade. Hell, even up to the 7th generation of consoles, we were still seeing a lot of unique properties crop up. Games like Lollipop Chainsaw were not just accepted, but embraced for their bizarre concepts and gameplay. Then something intangible but unignorable happened somewhere around the 8th generation of consoles. There was a shift in the gaming sphere. Gone were the days of new concepts and franchises replaced almost entirely with the latest Call of Duty installment, Assassin's Creed, or Madden game. Where did all the risk takers go in the AAA space? Was it a lack of profitability in the eyes of these large conglomerates that now ruled the video game industry? Or did we lose sight of the potential of what a video game could truly be? AAA games play it safe now, that's for sure. Sure, this can largely be attributed to how much money is on the line and how expensive it is to create these massive, bloated titles, but this leads me to one of my biggest complaints about the state of the industry. Similar to Hollywood, they've adapted to unthinkable budgets, unrealistic expectations, and gameplay has taken a backseat to spectacle. Consumers continue to buy these half-finished, overly ambitious projects or clones of last year's efforts with a reskin, so naturally they continue to be made, and I'm left to ask myself, why? You know, people are quick to rush to the defense of games released with game-breaking bugs, completely unfinished and in desperate need of a patch just to be playable, and then there are the boycotts. People claim to want to speak with their wallets, but then go on to make Diablo 4 a top-selling title? Just make it make sense to me. Some of my confusion comes from the willingness to defend corporations for their misgivings. I understand it hurts to waste $70 on a broken product, and we can try to convince ourselves that there's something worth defending here so we don't feel so shortchanged, but that won't solve anything. The truth is, we don't have original IP in the AAA space anymore because creativity is rarely rewarded with monetary success. Just take a peek at this recent list of top 10 best-selling releases for August of this year. There's not a single new IP to be found. At the top of the list, Madden NFL 24. It's a hard pill to swallow that original IP in the AAA space is practically dead, but fear not though, all hope is not lost. Indies have had a tremendous 2023, from unsettling atmospheric titles like Dredge to brain-bending puzzlers like Ugly or outstanding classic JRPG Sea of Stars, an entirely original IP. The indies are keeping creativity alive and well. I just wish some of that creativity could spill over into the AAA space. And no, indies aren't perfect. Sure, some of them may need more time in the oven, or perhaps borrow from some of the AAA mentality from time to time in the hopes of appealing to the masses, but at the end of the day, I'm encouraged that creativity isn't entirely absent from gaming today. Indie games are both the preservation of our past and the hope for the future of gaming.